Have you ever wondered how the 2026 FIFA World Cup is streamed live and crystal clear, whether you're 30,000 feet in the air or in the middle of nowhere? You can thank the invisible highway of satellites orbiting our planet. Let's break down how this modern day space magic gets the game from the pitch to your screen. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Space Blast, and my name is Sathik Ranjagi, and I'll be your host for today's video. With that, let's cue the intro. Every 4 years, billions of people across the globe tune in for one of the most widely watched sporting events in history, the FIFA Football World Cup. No, not this football. I'm talking about this football. But how does the World Cup get streamed? Well, it all starts on the ground. Deep in a manufacturing facility in Redmond, Washington, SpaceX is churning out Starlink satellites faster than a car factory, churning out 70 satellites per week. That's a lot. And these aren't any ordinary satellites. These are mass-produced, efficient, and built for their job. Each of these sleek units weighs about 227 kilograms or about 500 pounds. Okay, but how do we send them up into space? Well, for that, we're gonna need the Falcon 9 rocket. And this rocket is extraordinary. It's the world's first reusable orbital class rocket. Powered by liquid oxygen and rocket grade kerosene, this rocket provides the thrust needed to send these satellites into space. But instead of throwing the booster away after its mission, SpaceX decided to recover them, having recovered some more than 35 times, which is why it's so special. Once they hit orbit, these satellites don't drift. Instead, they hang out at low Earth orbit or at a height of 550 kilometers or 340 miles. This is key. Most ordinary satellites, called geostationary satellites, hang out way further in the sky at a height of 22,236 miles. That massive distance is the reason why old school internet felt like talking to someone on a delay. But with Starlink, that round trip signal is shortened to around 25 to 35 milliseconds. But that's the difference between hearing your neighbor shout before you see it and seeing it live. Okay, but how does the game get from the pitch to my phone or on my seat on an airplane? Let's track the signal. It all starts with the request. When you press play on the match, your device will send a request to your Starlink internet dish or an in-flight terminal. Then, that Starlink internet dish will send the request to the nearest Starlink satellite, which will send that request down to a Starlink ground station. The Starlink ground station will then take the request and channel it through the fiber optic cables all the way to the streaming provider's servers, for example, like Fox Sports, Peacock, or Sports 24. These servers will take the live feed, convert it into digital data chunks, and send it right back to the fiber optic cables to the Starlink ground station, up to the satellite, and down to your satellite dish. Your satellite dish will then send the data right to your device, which will then arrange the data, and voila! The ball is through the net. This simple piece of engineering happens in a fraction of a second, and it's truly out of this world. With over 200 million subscribers and counting, SpaceX and Starlink are now a massive business, accounting for 75% of all the satellites in the world. Major airlines like Virgin Atlantic and Qatar Airways are already implementing Starlink internet for the FIFA World Cup on their flights. So if you're flying on Virgin Atlantic or Qatar Airways, remember, you can watch the FIFA World Cup from your seat. But SpaceX isn't the only one playing the game here. Viasat is another company, but they play by their own rules. They use geostationary satellites. Yes, the one I was talking about that would make your internet slow. Their VS3 constellation sits much further high up in space, but their technology is designed to shift capacity to where it's needed most. When you watch a match via Viasat, the request travels to the high orbit satellite, down to a ground station connected to a content delivery network, which takes the video, channels it through the ground station, up to the high orbit satellite, and down to your device. And Amazon's also charging ahead too. With over 300 satellites in orbit and a factory in Kirkland, Washington that can churn out tens of satellites, their goal is to provide ultimate internet to you guys. And yep, their internet can also handle 4K streaming just like family video calls. Watching the World Cup through space isn't sci-fi anymore. It's just how we watch TV. Whether it be SpaceX's low latency network or Viasat's high capacity geostationary approach, these satellites are creating a global digital stadium. So the next time you see that game winning header, just imagine the signal dancing between the stadium, connecting to a satellite screaming through low Earth orbit, and coming down to your screen faster than you can yell goal. This is truly a piece of engineering to admire at. And it's a pretty stellar way to spend an afternoon, won't you think? Anyways, thank you so much for joining the Space Blast, and if you support more content like this, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and smash that notification bell to receive daily updates on future content that I post. Thank you so much again for joining the Space Blast. You rock! Until then, see you next time.
Proceed with the count.
Go Atlas.
Go set. Go Viasat.
T-minus 10,
10,
9,
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We have ignition. 2, 1. And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket, carrying Viasat 3 Flight 2, adding unprecedented capacity to Viasat's global multi-orbit network.
Atlas is switching over to closed loop control. Mach 1, Atlas is now supersonic. Hydraulics continue to look good, and your parameters stable. Passing 30 miles down range, 28 miles in altitude. And good indication of SOB jettison on all 5 SOBs. And good indication of PLF separation. Good indication of center separation. Pre-start on LO2 and LH2.